Hello everyone, my name is Cetus and welcome back to my Let's Play of Europa Eurosails 4 for Italy. It's been a little while since I recorded the last video of this series because I decided to be sick for a little bit, so I'm not 100% familiar with what is going on. But I took a little glance at the end of the last video and it looks like we're trying to stabilize a little bit because we have a lot of aggressive expansion. Example, I looked up here and Australia has 44 and at 50 is when they would be willing to join a coalition against me, and I don't want that because they would crush me. It looks like we managed to grab the Genoa trade node, which is excellent because it's one of the primary nodes for trade in, surprisingly, the Genoa trade node. So the more strength we have in here, the more money we can pull from it, which is very, very useful for us. I'm sure I've said this before, but it's one of the nice nodes where everything ends up. So, you know, kind of becomes a rich node regardless of what you do. We also appear to have some vassals, which is nice. We have this lovely little green one here, which isn't super happy with us, but hey, it's a good starting point. It's really nice to have vassals because we can actually expand by feeding them territory and not using up all our admin power, which is really nice. And our other one is Cyprus, which I don't know exactly how we got into a war with Cyprus, but hey, that's I'm not upset about that. I mean, the node itself, I don't think, yeah, it doesn't help us that much. It's in a trade node that's a few steps away. We really need Alexandria before we can do anything. But eventually we'll be able to integrate Cyprus. And once we've done that, we can use it to expand down here. I seem to remember that we wanted to attack these fellows here. But they're allied with the Ottomans? Yeah. Which no one wants to fight the Ottomans if they can help it. Especially these Ottomans who have grown to a slightly disgusting degree. It looks like once Russia forms, it's going to be a giant nightmare as well. It's a very interesting game. Who are our friends? France, excellent. Province, okay. Kind of neither here nor there. If I remember right though, I think we like totally, yeah. We are not particularly, they don't love us. Maybe we'll spend, while we're here, we'll spend, so you slowly generate favors. And we've generated 11, and we're getting, what, one favor every year. So it's not very fast. It's a relation to how big you are to how big they are. So it's kind of like you generate more favors if it's a smaller country because you can do more for them. So they want to be more friendly with you. But let's spend this, improve it a little bit. 41 is not, you know, a great amount. It starts at 50, but hey, we'll go with that. Yeah, France 51. Let's see, what else do we got? We're losing our CB versus Florence. It's not would have been nice to use. What is happening to Venice? Huh. Looks like Australia had enough of Venice. Works for me. They were going to be a problem. We would like to expand into the Papal States at some point. Who are they friends with? Australia. Oh, Australia. Austria. Okay. Interesting. Oh, Florence. Yeah, it makes sense that I would want to attack them. But they're allied to France. That's just not a fight we want. Okay. Let us drop the garrisons here to save some money. I can't imagine we're going to be in war that much. Normally I would drop, actually, you know what, let's just drop it. Mothball everything. Why not? Are my navies out doing something? Oh, okay, they're bringing back that army for now. Florence has joined a coalition against us, so we're definitely still angering people. We have no debt, that's good. The clergy doesn't like us. I seem to recall that we were like stripping away land from the different estates and then got trapped into a war. That sounds familiar to me. They're not gonna... Okay. Disputed succession basically means that the ruler is at risk at dying without an heir. And so I was thinking, you know, so, oh, could we marry Austria and then maybe inherit the kingdom? Because that would be okay. But no, they hate us so much they would never be down with that. Portugal, I think, is too far away to care about what we do. They just don't care. And they don't seem to like us much, on top of just not caring. Who was the last one? Brunswick. Oh, right. This place. They also aren't going to care about us. That's okay. We're just going to relax here. Wow, our prestige is terrible. Minus 30? Oh, we're excommunicated. That's just always going to be bad. Our legitimacy is bad. Interesting. Interesting. What era are we in? We're still in the Age of Discovery. Okay. So the next era is going to be the age where countries start shifting from, or having the opportunity to shift. So we're Catholic right now, and we have a reform desire of 97.6%. So when we switch eras, there is a decent chance that our country will start to convert to either Reformed or, wow, I can't think, Protestant. No, that's the English one? I can't think right now. We'll see in a moment. The basic point is, if we can switch to either of the other religions, we'll be better off because the Pope won't matter, right? And the other religions are kind of about that. So they won't mind that we took this place, the land. Yeah, we really can't mess around for a bit. What are our... Actually, before I go, let's take a look at what our diplomats are doing. So one is making our people like us, which is good. And the other two are threatening countries, which is good. Okay. And you know what? Because so many people hate us, I'm actually going to turn this garrison back on. Because of that, it's right on the front line. So if something happens, it will deal with it right away. Now, fleet is still moving troops, so that's fine. We'll let them deal with that. What is our unrest doing? Because I see that icon. 2.9. So we have kind of a grouping of it. War exhaustion, overextension. Coast keeps getting raided. I still don't like it. Local power vacuum. That must be a modifier, an event or something that I don't remember. Controlled by nobility. Yeah, I still need to strip that away. Okay. And you know what? We're going to leave this one up too, because it's kind of off on its own and at risk. It's cool that we got that though, because we want like this piece at some point. In an odd way, this would be a good time to attack Venice, but just don't think we can risk the aggressive expansion. You know, I don't want to wait years and years and years to continue expanding, but as anyone who's watched my older videos knows, aggressive expansion and I don't necessarily get along. Let's break away our light ships so they can do some work. Let's see. Tech trade. What do we got? Genoa plus 0.13, minus 0.08, plus 0.51, 35. We'll take the 51. That makes sense. So the light ships are going out and basically improving my influence over a trade node. So in this case, they're sending more trade up towards me, which is actually left towards me in the Genoa trade node. What? How much do we own? Aragon still owns... Oh, 24. So we do have the most influence, which is good. Aragon is still very strong. Oh, I guess they have all this nonsense. Okay. I don't know... How good is our money? Plus 0.8. That's pretty good. So a good thing to do would be to... our trade nodes. It would be good if we could pay up. It's 1,000 gold, but it improves how much influence we have over things, which would be good. And our remaining fleet here, we have two choices. We could mothball it, save some money, or we could have them hunt pirates. Because people keep, you know, pirating us. Hunt pirates. You know, a trade node. Let's just see how that runs for a bit. Because we're doing okay on money. Did I yeah, I did mothball with this one. The capital always confuses me sometimes because it doesn't go red, like how this one went red when I mothballed it. But it's because it doesn't fully empty out because it's your capital. So even with it mothballed, it's only dropped to 1,000 troops, just so it can hold on in emergency, give you some time. Oh, what a great time to attack Venice this would be. Okay, I see we have an idea ready to be purchased. So let's take a peek at what's going on with tech. We're ahead with diplomatic and military, and behind the times with admin, so we have the bonus on admin. Right now, we're waiting on the spread of colonialism, which is nowhere near us, And we're not colonizing, so it's not necessarily going to spread to us. Okay. Fortunately, though, being like in the core of Europe, we're probably going to be okay on that front. Though we do want to... Oh, actually, sorry, I was going to say we want to prep for the next one to try and get it in our own country, but it's the printing press, so unless we're, you know, Germany, we're not going to get it. Yeah. So what can we do? Admin, which I think admin is what's behind the times. So we got influence and we got innovation. Interesting choices. I'm just trying to think. I kind of want to grab this to get it up on the times to stay up to date. Keep our innovation going up. Core province, which is good. But at the same time, this plus 25 spread is going to be very helpful. But no, I think I'm going to grab the next tech from it, while the penalty from not having the institution is still low. And then I think I'll have a little bit of time to grab all those ideas before we manage to spread it to us. Looks like Lucia doesn't want to abandon us anymore. They're not disloyal. You know, they don't love us. They're not filled with joy towards us, but we come up here. Yeah, it's below 49, which is great. We will have an interesting time. If we change religion and they don't change religion, there might be an interesting time when they don't love us because we have a religious conflict, but that's okay. So, 121 months, nice. So we could build some buildings. Plus 15 is pretty good, or 0.15. Plus 14 is pretty good. What do we got here? Deteriorating relationships with the nobility. So either they gain autonomy or we have a civil war. Well, not really a civil war. That's giving them too much credit. What countries are that? C-A-L. Was that an L? That was an L. C-A-L-A-B-R-I-A. There. Probably this one. And something with an... You know what, I'm just going to do a search. I feel like... Oh, it's this one. You know, it's right next to my fleet. We can kill them. We quickly turn this on. I wonder if it will stop. So when rebels take a province that doesn't have an active fort next to it, you get a 10 years of basically rebellion, separatism or something like that, which you don't want. But so I'm hoping if we reactivate the fort, it will prevent that from happening here and give us time to get down there and kill them, because they're going to siege it out before we get there. Now we're going to rush down. Yes, it did. Oh, unless I entered past it. I have a bad habit of entering past some of the pop-ups in this game. Someone is displeased with me again. and then not displeased with me again. That was interesting. Okay, so this problem is solved. We'll lower that again, save the money. Siege that down. We could grab Defender of the Faith, which is interesting. It gives you a bunch of bonuses, but a penalty to technology cost. This is going to be really useful, but it also drags you in a bunch of wars because you are Defender of the Faith. So if someone attacks someone of that faith, you kind of have to step in and help out. So we won't do that. I am thinking of boosting my trade node, or one of them, because this one's currently doing 7.3% of the trade node, 6.7, 7.1, 3.7. Well, that's not that impressive. Because it would be 1,000 up that. And like long term, like a huge goal for us is going to be to gain as much control of this as we can. Because right now it's pulling in 24.7 gold and we're taking 9.82 of that. So the more we can get, kind of the better. But short term, we might be better off building a bunch of production facilities and stuff like that. Factories plus 0.32 for a factory. That's not nothing. I don't really want to do the math to work out which is the best. I'm going to grab these two. Then I'm going to grab these two. Just because anything kind of above the 0.1, I feel, I don't know. That's my personal ratio on when I think it's worth the money or not. Don't know if that's actually true. And I think we're going to have these guys drill. Try and gain some professionalism. As your units, I think as they fight as well, but as they drill, you gain professionalism, which is this bar here, and you gain some bonuses as you move up. So here you can build a supply depot, which lets you have more troops in the area, which is really nice. And then there's bonuses to, available mercenaries, sieging ability, landfire shock goes up and up. You can refill garrisons, which is nice. So if your fort was empty, you can use your own troops to fill it up. When you get rid of troops, you gain the manpower back, where now you don't. There's some interesting things. And just the bonuses are generally worth it. So we can do tech. We can do military tech, interesting, and admin. So let's grab admin. Oh, we're still behind, interesting. We'll grab military. Stay ahead. What troop can we improve? Infantry. So what do we want? Really good at attacking, not great at defending. Really good at defending, okay at attacking, okay at attacking, and okay at defending. I'm going to take the better at defending. Just because we're kind of in a defensive, don't be aggressive phase of things. We can pass the active uniformity, so we have better missionaries, but embracing the institution is more expensive by 10%. We are not going to turn that on, and I'm going to uncheck this so it doesn't prompt me to do it. Our advisor died at some point. I didn't see that prompt. Admin is a problem, so we could spend 4.73 gold a turn on +2 and get the unrest bonus, which I think that's going to be worth it. Yeah, because now our unrest goes away. We're not having to worry about that. We're now gaining 7 admin a turn. I'm almost tempted to turn. So what you can do is you can click one of these buttons and you focus on a particular thing. So if I click here, I gain +2 to how much admin power I gain a turn, and I lose -1 Diplo and -1 military. Which is potentially worth it because we need to get our admin up because we're behind the times. And we also want to get this boosted up because 2 of these, that's really strong. But we also want diplomatic stuff, so not great around. Let's take a look at tech. We're actually doing really good. $888 or what? $889. We're not doing as bad as I thought. It must be like France. Yeah, it's France that's way ahead and making us look behind the times. Which is fair. France would be stronger at that stuff than us. So I might save up and grab a couple of the factories. Maybe the 2 plus 3, plus 0.3 ones. Let's speed it up a little bit. We can create states. It's not a great, I mean, I'm almost tempted to make it because eventually we're going to want all this land anyway, but it's not a great state. Yeah, that's the only one. Or would it be a bonus in gold? It's not insignificant. Huh. And eventually we want that state anyway. That's interesting. And kind of tempting. Did we make this into a state? Oh, I cannot click properly. Yeah, we did. That's a state. You know, we shouldn't have... I think I've probably talked about this before, but sometimes you got to be really careful with what you make into states because you're going to have tons, but we're not planning to be that aggressive. So I think it's fine. So now we can court again for a bunch of that admin power. We don't have a lot. Wait a second. I think we died. We died. Our kid is too young, so the queen is ruling, who is cruel, so people like us less. But otherwise, she's pretty decent. 332 is nothing to complain about. Looks like our kid will be pretty good too. Eris. Once she grows up. Her claim isn't very strong though, so I must have, oh actually it's a girl, so because of the era this game takes place in, the people don't love it when women take charge. So because of that, my claim is a little weaker, which means people will probably try and contest the throne when it switches over. But I don't actually know how that works. Because I'm kind of ruling. So it must be when I take control, because the queen is more known, so they're not going to rebel. They might rebel when she's old enough to take over. So we've lost the effects of excommunication. Who wants to bet that they just turn around and excommunicate us anyway? Declare statue in Restaurant of Appeals. What does this get us? Gain prestige. Reform desire. Florence, Genoa, Lucia all hate me. The Papal States will extra super hate me. I think they all do anyway. Less unrest. Steeper stability cost modifier, so easier to improve my stability. Bonus to prestige. And the Papal... Yeah, let's do this. Would have no intention of sticking with the Catholic Church. We've made them way too angry. So lose admin or lose Diplo. I need both. I need both in a large amount. I need admin more. Unrest because... Oh, no. Problem solved. Don't know why, but I'm not going to complain. Some truces are expiring. They're in a coalition against me. How many people are in a coalition against me? 3. Yeah, I kind of need that to die down. And see where things go. I don't think it's gone. We'll use Austria as our judge. Down to 36. We're getting there. And slowly, but they're the main concern. So we might be able to do some attacking soon. And continue expanding if we can find someone who doesn't have powerful allies. But I think that's a good place to call this episode. So thank you everyone for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.